Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. So today's video is going to be a lesson from my new long-awaited violin book 3, which takes us from lessons 21 to 30. Now I have to say that this is a true masterpiece. These are probably the best books I have written to date, even if I do say so myself. Comparing them to everything else that I have written, these are very, very comprehensive books. However, they have still been written for the self-learner in mind. And I can tell you guys right now that nothing online in the world exists like this. So these books come in 2 parts. So these are lessons 21 to 30, but I have split them into 2 parts. And the reason being is that this part 1 talks about third position. So this is lessons 21 to 25. And the second part talks about bowing techniques. You cannot buy these books separately. Once you buy the book, you get both of these. They don't really have anything to do with each other, so I have just simply separated them out into 2 books just for the purpose of clarifying that. In addition to these 2 books, as per usual, they will come with a Songbook 3, and it is very, very advisable that you buy Songbook 3. So on my shop, you will be able to buy these books, which are lessons 21 to 30, and you will be able to buy book 3 separately for $9.99. That's US dollars as well. However, you'll be able to buy them in a combo deal, all 3 books together, to save yourself a little bit of money. So everything you see here is going to be linked in the description bar underneath this video to purchase, and these are downloadable books only. I want to make that very, very clear. There is nothing physical to ship out, as with any of the books on my shop. They are 100% downloadable, so as soon as you've purchased, you just get straight on downloading and off you go. So I really hope you enjoy these next set of 10 lessons, and let's get into the lesson. So lesson 27 is moving on to staccato bowing, and it is a term for a fast succession of martelé notes in the same bow direction. So usually the hardest form of staccato is up bow staccato. Martelé is when you start the stroke with a very high bow speed and release the bow pressure at the same time. So you get that kind of crunch. At the end of the stroke, you'll not have any pressure from the bow on your hand. That's where you can hear that really harsh attack to start with, and then the attack immediately dies down. There are 3 ways that you can develop nicely controlled upward staccato, which is the most commonly used. I recommend that you just trial through and just see which one of the 3 speaks to you the most or the easiest for you to manage. That will just depend on you and your arm and your wrist, and it will just become apparent. So you can rotate your wrist, so when you're moving it up you can rotate your wrist here. You can use an up and down motion of the wrist, or you can use the pressure from pinching the bow, which is the method that I use. So the easiest way of doing that is by just using your index finger. So that's the method I use to do upward staccato, with probably a little bit of up and down wrist movement as well. So probably a combination between 2 and 3, but mostly 3. I don't really like my wrist going round that way because I just feel like I can't really push. I just can't do staccato that way because I've just been doing it the way I've been doing it for so long. But I like to put pressure along with my wrist going up and down. So as I said, a combination with 2 and 3. What I would suggest that you try all 3 of those methods. It'll be easier for you to start with. For me, I'm kind of set in my ways because I've been playing for 30 odd years. So for me, it's very difficult to break into something new, and I've already gone through these processes and established what works best for me. But I would suggest that you see if you can try all 3 and have a good old go at all 3. Unless there is one that is particularly singing to you from the heavens above immediately as soon as you start. And I would suggest that you start doing just say a 1 octave D major scale that we did all the way in, I forget which one it is now, but one of the lessons in book 2. So you can just do an upward scale, A major scale if you want to. Whichever you want to do, and you'll find that your method will come out and sing to you. And for the next part of this video, as with the previous lesson, demonstration tips, exercises, pieces, how I take you through exactly my methods of learning staccato will all be in the link that you will need to click on at the bottom of page 11 in the book once you've purchased. If you haven't purchased the book and you want to know what's going to be coming up in this lesson, then check out a few clips that will be coming up. Just that kind of thing, or you can do some scales. What we don't want is, we don't want a continuation of the sound or any dragging of the bow. A nice d, d, d. Make sure that you add those martelé accents on the first note, so you can see where you've got those little arrows there. They are the martelé accents. Da 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 da. So then you can play that little section through without any rests if you want to. Make sure that you have a nice crunchy staccato, and you don't want it blurring.